Let's show you how to create a new field or edit an existing field in the system. First, you will go over to Database Manager, Field Manager, and from here you will choose one of three options. What page would you like this question that you are about to create to live on? Or what page does the question that already exists live on? Does it live on a person record, a business record, or an event record? 9 times out of 10, it's mostly going to be an event record. And when you click on event records, you will notice that all the questions that live on the event record will now appear on the page. Now, what do I mean by these questions right here? To give you an example of what I'm talking about, all the questions you see on this list are all the questions that exist on the event record. So if you look over in the orange box where all the payment information is, you'll see total package price, deposit, total fee is the first 3 fields. If I come back into here and I look at the orange payment information section, which matches up to the payment info section here, those questions exist right here. Now these are questions that if you'd like to edit, you would click on the edit button here. Let's talk about making a brand new question in the system. For that, you will come up here to New Field. When I click on this button, you'll notice over here in the gray area, all these fields will turn white, allowing you to create a brand new question. Now let's talk about this section first with these questions right here. Field label is the name of the question that you are creating. So if you wanted to know, for example, someone's eye color, the question would be eye color. Now you'll notice as I was typing that in, the database field name automatically fills itself out. The database field name will come into play later on when generating documents and wanting to insert this information on the document. The second question is field type. What kind of question is this? And there's a ton of options to choose from. As you go through the system, you'll start to learn the ones that you like to use. So for example, is the eye color question going to be just a straight text form question where you want them just to be able to type in whatever color that they like? Or would you like to give them options to choose from? If that's the case, you have a few options. You have select, and when I click on select, what you will notice is a white box then appears down here where you would type the options that you would like them to choose. So if the colors were red, blue, green, those would be my options. Lastly, and one of the most important questions is the field group. This is where would you like this question to live in the system? Do you want it to live in the information box? Do you want it to live in the event details box, the payment box, or the contact information box? If it's any of these 4 options, when you come to field group, you will then see you don't want person because that's the person record, and you don't want company or anything else. We want the event record. And you have event info, event details, payment information. These are the boxes that I want to put them in. If this is going to be a question that lives on the dynamic form, or if it's a question that will live in one of the enhancement forms down here, your option to choose from the field group would then change to whether it's a dynamic form question or a dynamic enhancement question. And you also have the multi-day events. If that's something that you do have the multi-day events area. So again, the field group is important to where you want that question to live. If I put it in event details, which is not a recommendation of where I would put this question, and save it, you'll notice in the event details section, there is your eye color question. And I can drag and drop this to put it wherever I like. So for example, in the event details box where we just put that question, when I refresh my screen, eye color is now the question here. And when I open it up, because I made it a select, there are my selected options. Now again, eye color, maybe not in event details. That might make more sense on a dynamic form question or maybe even enhancement. again, this is just a sample question that I made up. So if you would like to put it on a dynamic form, you would change the field group to dynamic form question and save. Now that that question has been created, we then have to go put it on a form. This is done under Content, Dynamic Event Forms. And because we made it a dynamic form question, it can only go on the forms. If you made it a dynamic enhancement question, we would go to the enhancement forms and put the question on whatever form it needed to be put on there. So let's go back to the dynamic forms and say that's a question that we want to put on our wedding form. I will edit the form. I will go find the new question I just created. I will insert into the form. It will always be the bottom question, and you can always drag and drop it and put it wherever you'd like on the form. Save changes. And now if I refresh my screen, eye color is now a question on my dynamic form for a wedding.